everyone. We're so glad you joined us for our presentation on STEM for All. Today, you guys will be learning a little bit about our mission, our free coding classes, as well as how you can sign up for them or for your children yourselves or contribute to our mission. So let's get started. Okay, so first a little bit of an introduction on us. My name is Satwika and I'm a school and a sophomore at Bergen County Academies. And I first got into coding when I was at the end of my middle school years. And I wanted to apply to the school that had a computer science academy. So I wanted to learn a little bit about coding from my parents, who are both involved pretty heavily in computer science. And so I learned a little bit from my dad and I got into the school. And in that school, I've been taking a lot of coding courses to learn different parts of the computer and how to code, as well as just really get a fully rounded understanding in. And I also have recently learned, after joining AiGoLearning, from my friend Annie, who told me about it and recommended that I sign up as a teacher. I realized that not everyone had the same opportunities that I have, especially certain groups, certain racial groups, certain ethnic groups, etc. And so under AiGoLearning, we've started this mission called STEM for All to hopefully give everyone equal opportunity in the STEM field, or at least the coding field.
Hi, my name is Edmond, and I'm a junior at High Technology High School in Lincroft, New Jersey. I was experienced to coding at a very young age as well as Satwika. Ever since I was young, I joined a coding club, and that coding club basically had people around my neighborhood, a lot of Asian families and parents that really wanted their children to get into coding. So we all formed a club. And in that club, we tackled a lot of algorithmic mathematical computing problems. And I had a lot of fun with that. And I had a lot of satisfaction whenever I would solve one of those problems. And as I went into high school, I began to experience just how powerful coding is. I made websites, I made video games, and I just made a bunch of things that I never knew I could make in high school. And it was all due to the computer science courses I had and the software engineering development courses. And also in high school, one of my friends introduced me to this organization, and I really liked it. I really liked having the opportunity of teaching younger students and spreading the knowledge that I had gained as a young student. And so that is why I'm a teacher and why I joined this organization. And as for STEM for All, I really would like to give back to the community, just as I had those opportunities when I was young. And I want everyone to have equal opportunities. I don't want it to be that those who feel like that they have more opportunity than others can sign up for these coding classes, but more like everyone who wants it can have it, no matter any social status or financial status and things like that. And that is the core of STEM for All.
Hello everyone, my name is Benjamin and I am a New Jersey high school student. I am also a Scratch teacher here at AiGoLearning. From a young age, I was interested in coding. I took many courses in popular coding languages such as Scratch, Python, and Java. As a result of taking these courses, I was exposed to the coding community and I wanted to give back, so I joined AiGoLearning. I work with my partner, Daniel, who unfortunately is not here today, to market STEM for All to your local libraries. We want to partner with them to spread coding to people in all communities and to make it as widely available as possible.
So a little bit about our organization in general. We are AiGoLearning, and something we're really focused on is teens teaching kids. So we like to break from the rigid classroom structure that's so often practiced in a lot of other courses or a lot of schools. And we like to foster a mentor type relationship. So almost like a big brother or a big sister, where students feel like they can open up to their instructors and really get advice from them and ask them all their questions and have a nicer relationship with them than it might be with someone older. So if you look to the right here, you'll see some of our teachers. We have a pretty diverse group of teachers. And again, these are just a few of our many teachers. And they're all well-versed in different curriculums that they have been trained in, and they teach hands-on interactive projects. So they're teaching computer science principles and AI principles in these classes. And something we try to maintain in all of our classes is a small student to teacher ratio, so that each student feels like they're getting individualized attention, and all students are able to ask their questions, clarify their doubts, anything they might need, whereas bigger classes might mean that they don't get as much attention. And currently, all of our classes are virtual and will be for the foreseeable future. So that means students are with other kids who are from different parts of America, different parts of New Jersey, and they're able to break from their town and really bond with children who have similar goals as them or similar interests. So currently we have more than 100 qualified teachers, and we are still looking for more teachers. So if you know anyone who is well-versed in coding and would like to share their skills with younger children, please encourage them to apply. We have a pretty solid training process, so we'll make sure that they're qualified, so there's no need to worry about that. And we also have more than 500 students currently in our courses. And again, we're still looking for students. We would love for all of you to sign up for our courses if you qualify for STEM for All or for just our AiGoLearning courses in general. A little bit about the classes. So each class is 30 minutes to 2 hours, depending on what the students want or what they sign up for. And this is a commitment per week again, so you might have 1 to 2 classes per week. And we have 3 or 4 sessions in each course. So whether it be Scratch plus AI, etc., which we'll go over a little bit more in detail in a little bit. And each session is about 16 hours each. So you have 3 to 4 sessions of those, and each session is based on a different topic under that same course. So the quote that we really want to share with you guys, and we feel like this really articulates our mission. So Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Facebook, said, "All of my friends who have younger siblings who are going to college or high school, my #1 piece of advice is you should learn how to program." And this really speaks to our mission because coding and tech in general is so much more popular in this current age, especially with the ongoing pandemic, where everyone needs to know how to code or needs to be a little bit well-versed in technology so that they can get basic forms of communication. And we like to start teaching kids even younger, as early as elementary school, middle school, so that they can get a head start. And by the time they're in high school or are grown-ups and are looking for opportunities, jobs, etc., they're able to have a pretty solid tech background, even if they aren't going into tech and are looking to really promote something else. Okay, so why STEM? Well, just in general, STEM, like I said before, is really needed. It's workers in all fields, no matter what they're going into, really need to have tech experience because we're always online. We're using coding is always being used as a framework to communicate skills that you already have. So even if you're looking to foster a different skill set, coding really helps people communicate what they need to. So children who have had STEM experience or STEM training, it's been that they're able to more efficiently communicate what they want. And as a result, they have more opportunities and more doors are open for them because they have a wider skill set that's really looked for in jobs today and increasingly so in the future. So that's why our STEM for All mission really kind of focuses on emphasizing this, especially for underrepresented and underprivileged children or those part of those communities.
All right, so now that we know why STEM is important in this day and age, let us talk about a little bit of why our campaign exists. What is the purpose of it and why did we decide that this is important? Well, the poverty rate in the United States as of 2019 is 9.2%. Now, I know that is not a majority, and thank God it isn't, but those 10% of people are living in conditions that they do not want and that are not ideal. And maybe if they had a better paying job or a better education and more opportunities when they were younger, maybe they wouldn't be in poverty like they are today. And so that is one of the goals, one of the reasons why STEM for All exists. Another one is the racial inequality that exists today. Blacks and Hispanics make up 27% of the overall US workforce, but only 16% of them take up STEM occupations. So that means 84% of them are not in STEM. And we would like a little bit more Black and Hispanics to be in the STEM workforce because the jobs are more beneficial and higher paying, so to raise their standard of life. And the fact that only 27% and 16%, these percentages are quite low, and we'd like to raise them and help to raise them through STEM for All. In addition, we like to promote diversity. It is well known that diversity drives innovation. By having different perspectives, different views, different people, different types of people, you get a lot of new ideas and a lot of new perspectives that you would not have if you only had the same person 100 times in an organization. If you have many different types of people, you have more opportunities to grow. And that is why we want to help promote diversity in our classes and later on in the workforce. And as a summary, we just would like to bridge the gap. Being able to provide our educational equity through this campaign in providing free coding classes to these underrepresented students, we hope that this equality that we are promoting early on will help to promote economic equality in the future and help to bridge the gap between the economic disparities. And just to reiterate, as Satwika said, STEM employment has grown by 79%, and computer jobs have seen a whopping 338% increase. So this really makes STEM for All important, and coding classes very important for students in this age so that they can have a head start and be successful in this digital age.
Okay, so a little bit about how we achieve our mission and kind of promote this. So we in general try to incorporate our curriculum and our teachers, our structure, really our classroom structure, into existing organizations who've had an existing audience already. So whether that be in nonprofits, we like to collaborate with nonprofits who either are big on STEM, but they're lacking in their coding curriculums, or they're looking to expand their coding side of STEM. We enjoy collaborating with these nonprofits because we have similar interests, and also with nonprofits who have a similar mission of spreading diversity and kind of bridging the gap between certain racial groups, certain ethnic groups in STEM. Collaborating with these groups really allows us to tap into their audience and give the people who are looking for courses and really need them our courses, because these nonprofits might not be able to provide these resources, but they already have the audience and we have the resources that are beneficial for them. Also, same thing with schools, where schools that are located in low-income areas or areas with a large minority population, partnering with schools in these areas also gives us similar benefits and gives the students in those areas the benefit of our free coding classes with our wide variety of teachers and curriculums as well. And same thing with libraries. Also, in general, we like to promote to students who might not live in areas with these resources and whom in those areas we haven't been able to incorporate STEM for All, but are still looking for classes and want to benefit from them. So just like standalone students, we encourage them to sign up on our website so that they're able to reap the benefits of our classes as well. Okay, so for all the high school students out there or parents of high school students and college students who are looking for STEM for All as a teaching opportunity, there are a lot of reasons why you should teach for us. One being, it's a great idea to just give back to your community for the coding experiences that it has provided you with and share your knowledge to this community. And it really gives you good first-hand teaching experiences, which a lot of colleges or high schools really look at positively. because you already have that experience. You've already had your foot in the door in the field, and it's just like onward from there. And when you teach, you definitely get a better understanding of the topics that you're teaching. Because it's one thing to learn from a teacher and kind of learn the topics and make them make sense to you, but it's something else to have them make sense to a group of students who aren't as experienced as you, but still want to gain that same knowledge, learn those same skills. It's a different experience. It might not be as difficult as you might think, but it's a different way of looking at things. And also leadership, mentoring children in general is a really great experience in my opinion. And all teachers that have been in our organization, they love to mentor these little children and kind of act as like an older sibling for them as well. So for you guys who are looking to sign up for teachers, you can sign up on our website, so AiGoLearning.org. We'll provide all the links at the end. Once again, we'll drop them into chat, but you can go to the teaching internship tab and sign up to be a teacher. And once you sign up, you'll receive an email from probably Daniel, our president, and you'll also sign up to be evaluated when you're ready, so that you can kind of be given feedback on how your teaching style is, and you can TA for someone, you can assist another teacher in their class before you're ready to lead a class of your own and you have your own students.
So now we will give an overview on the courses we offer and what we teach in them. The most introductory coding course we have is Scratch Junior. This course is for students who have little to no coding experience around the ages of 5 to 7. This course is designed to give students the fundamental coding knowledge that they need in order to succeed in future classes. Scratch Junior is a block-based coding program, meaning that students drag blocks into the coding area to make cool stuff happen. Next slide, please. Scratch Junior. Our Scratch Junior course is 1 session long, which is about 16 classes, I believe. It consists of many fun activities, including those in animation, stories, and games. Our curriculum for all of these courses is mostly project-based, meaning that students complete projects to learn, which makes them as fun and as painless as possible. So here we have one of the projects that students will complete in our Scratch Junior course. This is the car project, where the cat needs to wait for the car to pass before it crosses the road. And as you can see, this is actually quite a complex project because the cat and the car need to interact with each other, which shows just how much the students will learn in our Scratch Junior course. The next level of coding is Scratch. Scratch is one of the more popular basic coding languages. And because it is more complex than Scratch Junior, we offer it to students around the ages of 7 to 9. Scratch builds off of the basic coding knowledge from Scratch Junior, except students create more advanced projects in Scratch. Similar to Scratch Junior, Scratch is block-based code, meaning that students drag blocks into the coding area to create projects. Our Scratch course consists of 3 sessions. The first session is storytelling, where students use their imagination to code 8 creative stories. This is a good introduction to students as they are having fun while learning the fundamentals of Scratch. In the second session, students create 8 projects in sports, and which you will see an example of the project in the next slide. In the third session, students create 8 projects. And yeah, so here's the baseball game that we teach in the second session. So the user drags around the baseball bat to hit the baseball. So this is automatically more complicated than the Scratch Junior project in that it involves user inputs. See, there are even cool animations, which it just shows how the students can actually enjoy the course while actually learning code. If you look closely in the upper left-hand corner, there are two counters that keep track of the total number of hits and the high score.
All right, our next course is 002, which is Scratch, just like the previous course, but we add a little bit extra things to it. We add artificial intelligence, actually. And this course is best suited for ages 9 to 12. So just like 001, this course builds off of the Scratch language, which is a very popular language for students trying to learn code. But this time we're going to be adding some artificial intelligence and machine learning. We expose students to these machine learning concepts in Scratch with trained models, and they utilize these trained models to create really cool projects. However, this requires some Scratch experience, so those students taking 002 should have taken 001 before. The first 4 activities will be the introduction to machine learning. We need to give the students a really good foundation so that they can build off of it and create their own projects later on. Our second session will be the complex topics, in which we will talk about image recognition, natural language processing, convolutionary neural networks, etc. And session 3 is where the students have a lot of flexibility and take all the things that they learn and create their own projects at the end, where they use their own machine learning models and create their own and then use it for their own projects. Here's an example of one of the machine learning Scratch projects that we create. And it is a simple smart home that uses natural language processing. So as you can see, we have 4 appliances. We have a lamp, we have a fan, a TV, and a Roomba that is being hidden by the fan, by the lamp, I mean. So here's the Roomba in the middle. Let's first type in an instruction. So on the bottom of your screen, you are able to type something in. And now if we type in lamp on and press enter, the lamp turns on. And if we say it's too hot, which is usually not what people would say if they want to turn the fan on exactly, but with our machine learning model, it recognizes that if someone is saying too hot, then it's most likely that they want the fan on. So that's why the fan is now on and it's spinning, and it has a really cool animation. We turned it just off, and now we turn it on again. And now we want the TV on, and now it turns on. And now we want the lamp off. And now if you notice, our next instruction was too dirty. So that does not exactly mean Roomba on, but the Roomba cleans the house, right? So if you say too dirty, that most likely means that you want the Roomba to turn on. And that's what the machine learning model did. And now the Roomba is cleaning the house, slowly but surely. And you have this really cool trail that it leaves behind. And usually you may not be able to see something like this, but it shows that it's being cleaned. All right, let's move on.
Okay, so building off the knowledge from Scratch and Scratch AI, we have Python. Python is one of the more popular advanced coding languages, and that is why we offer it to students from ages 10 to 14. Unlike Scratch, however, Python is a word-based code, meaning that students type their code instead of dragging blocks into the coding area. Because of this difference, we do not require that students take Scratch before taking Python. However, it is recommended, as Scratch helps develop the basic fundamentals that students need in order to succeed in Python. Our Python course consists of 3 sessions. The first 2 sessions are where students learn all of the knowledge that they need to know in Python, such as print statements, variables, input and output. and drawing with our cool online tool called Turtle. In the third session, students apply the knowledge that they learned in the first 2 sessions to Python applications and Pygame to design cool projects. And here is our Hangman game. This mimics the actual Hangman games that we play in real life. So as you can see, the text is printed. The code asks for a user input. When the user gives an input, the code prints out something else, so on and so on. So this is our Python Hangman game. And you'll be coding something like this and multiple other projects in our Python course. And next, you will learn about our more advanced Java curriculum.
Yeah, so next up is our Java curriculum. This is the most advanced curriculum that we offer, and it was recently developed in response to what our students wanted. They wanted something for an older audience and something more complex so that they could use their Python skills that they had and build off of it. So this is recommended for ages 11 to 15, and Python experience or Scratch experience is not required, though it definitely does help understand and cement these concepts. So it exposes students to more in-depth applications of these topics, and we start from the very beginning. So you don't need any Python experience or previous coding experience. So again, it is a good idea because in Java, usually code requires you need to code a lot more just to get something basic working, but it also allows students in general to see how exactly the computer does these things. And it's not so simplified where there are a lot of things hidden behind the screen. Students are usually coding much of the code themselves. So we have 4 sessions in our Java course. So the first one, Intro to Java, is where we have it's very basic. So we cover things like print statements, variables, pretty similar to our Python session 1 we got for Java. And in session 2, we build upon these skills and really focus on applying them to solve various problems and kind of code things ourselves and make things more efficient. And then in advanced Java, we learn more about structures like lists, array lists, linked lists, and we kind of focus on rounding out students' knowledge in terms of coding. Whereas in abstract topics, we kind of conceptualize and discuss things that are a little bit more difficult to see in your code or see written down, but are important to be a good coder and an efficient coder. This is our guess to sum project from Java. And so if you look when it's run, the user is prompted to enter 2 numbers. So this time we entered 87 and 55, and they're asked to enter what they think is the sum of the numbers as well. So say we enter the wrong answer, then our program will say that it's wrong, and it'll also say that it's off by a lot, so we weren't really close either. When we run it again this time, and we enter the correct sum of, so 10 and 20 this time, then we're told that this is right. And this program, though it might seem pretty simple, it requires a lot of different skills, and students are really required to think about what's the best way to code this. Though there are multiple approaches, there are a few that are the least intensive and the best for the computer and also for the coder.
All right, so we have a couple of expectations for students, for teachers, and from parents, and we just want to list them here so that you guys are on the same page as us. For students, we expect that all students attend all the classes of the course that they signed up for. Now, of course, if you are sick or you have another more important commitment, just let the teacher know so that he or she can plan ahead for you and make up the class that you missed. We also expect that all students pay attention, listen, and participate throughout class. We think that by paying attention and actively participating, it is the fastest and best way to learn new concepts and the teachers always like it when their students participate. It makes the class a little bit more engaging. We like it also that students to finish their homework when assigned, and I'm sure that you've heard other, elementary school or middle school, high school teachers say this, but homework is pretty important in reinforcing the topics learned in that day's class. So that is also what we believe in. And lastly, we expect students to have a working computer, microphone, and a quiet place to focus, because it is important to be able to share your screen and to be able to communicate with the teacher, not through the chat, but through the microphone, because it is much more efficient that way. And a quiet space to focus helps the student to really come up with ideas on their own. Now, here's what you can expect from teachers. And if any of you plan on applying for a teacher, this is what we expect from you. Well, we expect qualification, but don't worry if you don't have that much experience, because our teachers will go through an extensive training process to be qualified. They have to go through the entire curriculum, and they have to showcase a very good understanding of it in order to become a teacher someday. You can also expect preparation. Our teachers are going to be very prepared for each and every topic for every class because of the extensive evaluation process, and also that they are required to come up with a class plan every single class that they teach. Enthusiasm and dedication. Our teachers want to teach. They are not forced to do so, and they are not forced to complete the evaluation process. They do it themselves, and they cherish their time teaching. Lastly, communication. Our teachers are expected to communicate with their managers bi-weekly just to make sure that the classes are going well, and they must give those managers a report of how their students are doing and how their class is being managed. And as a parent, here are some things that you can expect from teachers and from the classes. Class attendance. Every teacher is required to submit attendance at the beginning of every class, which is sent to you for every student and for every class. So this will tell you whether or not your student is in class or not. And if they are not, you will get a notification. In addition, we have class reports. Every teacher is required to submit a class report to every student's parents. And this is done every class, and it explains what was accomplished during that class, what the class video link is in case that the students need to review the class content again, in which case they can access the video. And of course, the homework and any comments about the student's performance throughout the class. So the parents can know exactly how their student did during the class.
So again, for high school students who are looking to be a part of us and join our team, many of our teachers are also part of our other AiGoLearning teams. Because this is a largely team-run organization, we have a bunch of different things that need to happen other than teaching as well. So for example, curriculum development, which this team recently developed our Java curriculum, as we mentioned before. So it creates new curriculums based on students' demand on what they would like to see, and also revises old curriculum to make sure that it's still relevant and it still stays up to date, and also based on student feedback. We also have the training team, so teachers who have been evaluated themselves, who've done a great job in the evaluation and would like to help evaluate other teachers and assist them in the training process. They are part of the training team. And then we have teaching quality. So this is also part of the teaching process in that it makes sure our classes are good quality. It watches back so the people part of this team watch back a few of the Zoom videos of other teachers to give them feedback and critique, because our teachers are constantly looking to improve their teaching style and seeing what they can do better. So it also answers any questions that current teachers may have about their classes, about courses that they are teaching, and more.
All right, so now that you know a little bit more about our organization, here's what you can do. First thing you can do is explore. You can look through our general website and our STEM for All website to learn more about our organization or contact us directly. And if you know of any students who are in elementary or middle school, who can be students in our classes, or any high schoolers who can become a teacher, you can sign up at our website. And as long as you think that you are an underrepresented student in STEM or of a low-income family, then you are able and eligible to sign up for free classes. And just as a note, we do not ask you for your financial information or for your ratio information. That is all based on the honor system and whether or not you think that you and your family are underrepresented in the STEM world. And lastly, you can feel free to share our information with your friends, with your schools, with your county, anyone who you think can benefit from being a student or being a teacher, and spreading these coding classes around the world to reach as many audiences as possible to help bridge the gap and help society and the future and the workforce become as innovative and diverse as possible. Please share it with the people that you know. And thank you. Here is the information that we talked about, and these are our websites. These are our contacts. You can explore with our websites. You can contact us at those emails, and you can sign up with the 2 sign-up forms that I think Satwika dropped in the chat. So all the resources that you have are there. We have Facebook page and Instagram if you want to follow those. And now we can open it up for questions. So